What if I told you that this scene was hated by a lot of people? Superman hurting caused 14 fractured bones, damage to his bladder, lungs, and large intestine, and healing at an increasing rate due to being exposed to the sun. For some reason, this isn't the ideal Superman and nothing more than a joke and a blasphemy to Henry Cavill's Superman. And this is the problem with rebooting Superman. Superman is one of the most controversial characters in all of comics, and when it's brought into live action, it becomes worst. Because a lot of things has to go into writing the character, and how he's depicted will definitely cause problems. Let's take for example Zack Snyder's Superman, which was a very interesting take on the character because he was different from how we knew Superman. Whether you liked him or not depends entirely on how you feel about Superman snapping a guy's neck. This version of Superman was darker, more philosophical, wasn't the usual Superman, the beacon of hope for humanity like we got from the Christopher Reeve Superman, which is the ideal Superman for live action, but instead he's more like the symbol of godhood, which was the driving theme in Zack Snyder's DC universe. But to some, this wasn't Superman. He doesn't best represent Superman as a character at all, and it's too dark and gloomy. On top of that, it's too fucking depressive. Personally, I like this version of Superman, not because he was dark or basically Batman with superpowers, but because he truly showcased the powerhouse Superman really is, and I like that. Superman in the live action, aside from the TV shows, actually felt stale to me. He felt kind of slow and somehow weak because he never actually fought properly, which contrasted his animated counterpart, who embodies being the traditional Boy Scout trope with being able to throw hands when it mattered. But Henry Cavill's Superman had all the hands but not the heroism side of Superman. And you can't tell me otherwise. He was too damn focused fighting Zod and horror famine that the whole city was paying the price. Like he couldn't save at least one person. Like jeez man. But to a lot of people out here, this didn't matter. This was their GOAT, their glorious king, their Superman. With Zack Snyder leaving the DC project and the execs in WB wanting that sweet greenback Marvel has been farming lately, even if it meant actually copying Marvel's whole flow, word for word, bar for bar, they did, and long story short, it was all trash. With the only play and pressure on top of that was to bring back the Snyder Cut, which brought hype back to the fan base. We got to see Superman in a black suit and just enjoy having Superman around again. And a lot of people loved it, I loved it. But DC had other plans. In fact, they literally gave fans a glimpse of hope just to snatch it away from us, because after the Snyder Cut, DC went back to trying to do whatever they were doing and completely moved away from Snyder's vision, which, long story short, everything they did after that was trash. So all this led to The Rock claiming Superman is returning to the DCU, which again, it definitely brought hype, but I mean, we all know what was really going on with The Rock and the execs in WB.
Things will never be the same because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
The only thing changing is the likelihood of this guy ever joining another cinematic universe again. Despite this though, Superman did show up in Black Adam and brought back hype to the fans. And this is where things got really bad, because all this turned into a literal game for DC. They literally made Henry Cavill reveal to his fans he's returning as Superman. He made a whole video on it and stuff. Everyone was excited. People were making tweets all over the place. And all of that just for DC to pull the plug and completely shatter the hopes and dreams of every single person. Because we found out Superman is getting rebooted. Scratch that, the whole universe is getting rebooted. Not only that, there was already plans for who would replace Henry Cavill, and this rightfully made everyone mad. And I don't blame them, they did our boy Cavill very dirty. 1 minute he was Superman, and with a twinkle of an eye, he isn't. This, however, is the problem with rebooting Superman, because to be honest, James Gunn has a lot of shoes to fill, whether he likes it or not. Even till this day, there are still people who hate the idea of Superman being rebooted. No one even cares about the other characters, but specifically hating the fact that Superman is a different person. It's not their glorious king Henry Cavill. Because just like Snyder, Superman was the start of the whole universe. Same applies to Gunn's too, as his will be starting up a new era for the DC universe, one that may not sit right with those who literally worship Henry Cavill's Superman despite the flops or disappointment the entire DCEU became. I mean, it shows pure evidence when any clip on news regarding James Gunn's Superman can't be let to breathe, because they'll be sniffing it for any flaw they can find to bring down the leverage of the movie or criticize it by pitting it against Henry Cavill. To be honest, whatever James Gunn's cooking with this version of Superman will determine where the DC universe will be heading. Because this isn't just about Cavill, it's about what comes with rebooting a cultural icon like Superman. Superman isn't just another hero you can recast without drama. This guy is the literal definition of a superhero. He's the blueprint, the original, the cape that started it all. And that legacy, it's kind of a double-edged sword. One hand, everyone knows him. On the other hand, everyone thinks they know what he should be. Go to bright and wholesome and people say he's boring. Go to gritty and it's not Superman enough. There's barely any room to breathe, which is why there's so much pressure. Everyone is literally keeping their eyes peeled for any news regarding it, and it is easily one of the most anticipated movies of the year. Everyone wants to see it, some because they want it to actually succeed, while others expecting it to not be that great but at least enjoyable a bit, and others are just straight up praying for its downfall because it's not Henry Cavill. So don't be shy, let me know what team you're on in the comment section. As for me, I'm excited. I want to see the rivalry between Marvel and DC light up again like the old days of comic books. But more than anything, I want Superman to work, because if this reboot flops, it's not just a movie that fails, it's the entire new DC universe on shaky ground before it even starts. So what do you guys think? Are you here for the reboot, or do you still want Cavill back in the cape? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like if you vibed with this video and enjoyed it, and consider subscribing to support the channel. It really means a lot. You can also like too, that really helps. But that's it from me on this video. I'm out.